Again, Helen specifically requested nothing formal. So this is a very casual evening. We have a couple things, a couple treats for. We'll just do that. We have a short video presentation because finding pictures of Helen are more difficult than finding pictures of Bigfoot. So I went through about 100,000 today, and a couple members that went through everything they had, and so we got a quick one and picked a really short song. So and I added some filler slides, so we'll go through that in a second. But Helen, I mean, I'm going to start because I have the mic and I can. Just to say thank you. Helen and I met way back around then. I remember my first time in here, I was actually working at Trilogy Rio Vista, and they told me, hey, the Vineyards team's coming over, and I was at Rio Vista, so obviously said, yeah, I want to work there too. So Helen and all the CRs came over, and they were like, what's Blue Star, what do you guys do? We kind of went through everything, and really since then, we've had a great relationship, and it's been, you know, a lot of camaraderie and understanding what Helen's role was and what our role was and what we do for the community. And she has been unbelievably supportive to us and the team. Don't get me started. Too early. Haven't even started drinking yet. It's been great. And even before that, we have a distinguished guest, Dan O'Brien. And between Dan and Helen, give it up for Dan too. As an operator, every time I talk to people at other clubs, they basically hate me. They're like, you got what? How did you get that? How did you do that? Well, Dan and Helen, you know. I need an expansion, I want this, can I get this? Oh sure. Wasn't that easy? You know, they had to say it doesn't represent value in the community, but no other trilogy has got half of what we got. And I really appreciate everything you guys have done for both of us, particularly Helen. For everything I posted to her account after she left. So, you know, even this, it's like, oh, Helen's, you know, moving on to better things, and we wish her the best. And certainly for me, it's a new beginning, not an ending, because I'm looking forward to continuing our friendship. But I also got to say, hey, let's sell dinner and have a bar. So you just keep giving, and it's been great. But we're going to do a short presentation on a couple of the hard-to-find pictures from Helen's time here at Trilogy.
Another turning point, fork stuck in the road. Time grabs your mother as directs you where to go. So make the best of this dance known as what?
think a perfect song, considering Helen, you've given all of us here the time of our lives, and we appreciate it. There are a couple little things, and one is from the HOA, not only did you serve the community so well from a developer standpoint, sales standpoint, but also on the HOA. You're definitely, your levity and your personality is, I've never been to a board meeting that more people have enjoyed, and apparently never will again. So, from the HOA though, presented to Helen Eldridge for all you have done for the community 2007 to 2018, with appreciation from your friends at Trilogy at the Vineyards. And I have the gift receipt, so it's returned. It's got a little pen. Unfortunately, I didn't get to it till today, so a lot of people were off. But a level from your coworkers at Shea signed a picture. I put the Club Los Maganos picture on it because it's my favorite. I want you to think of us and not Shea.
You have time to sign it because I'll be back for tapas tomorrow.
We're still working on a few things, so we got that covered. All right. At this time, I'd like to open it up for anybody that'd like to say a few words. This is about Helen. Any business-related questions, you can email me directly, and I will forward them to the appropriate party.
How can I not? I don't know, Helen, I don't know if you felt it or not, but when you walked in this door and saw the room packed full of people, did your stomach like go, or your heart drop in your stomach, and you sort of go, uh-oh, now what? Funny memories. They were precious memories too. Many of you know how Helen and I originally met, and it was actually Kathy, Helen, and I. And it began when I, a year after I first started with Shea, and I'd brought my car up from Chicago and had Illinois plates on it. We rolled into BMW, and I was going to turn in this leased car, and it's got Illinois plates. And there's this guy, I don't remember what his last name was, but you know, he came dashing after me. He goes, "Hey, this is great. I'm from Chicago too. Can I talk to you?" I said, "No, I don't think so. I'm just going to see the service manager." So I walked right past him and I went to the service department. Because I figured, look, the one person that's going to know who the decent salespeople are and who's making the right representations is your service guy, right? So I go in there thinking I'm all smart, never done this before, but I thought I had the right idea. And I went in and I asked the guy, so who's the best salesperson you got on the floor? And he goes, "Well, that's going to be Helen Cowie." I said, "Okay, that's great." So I go in, and this is like the biggest setup in the world, I think. Because I go on the floor, and they go, "Helen Cowie, oh, well, she's working with someone right now. She has someone ready to go after that. So you'd be like third in line. It might be a couple hours before you get to meet her." And I said, "I'll wait. I mean, it's a car, so I'll wait." Helen made a point of circling up with me, saying, "Hey, I appreciate you waiting." She hands me off to one of her other partners on the floor, says he'll tell you all the stuff, about it, and then we'll meet up. So Kathy and I are riding around with this guy, and he's yapping our ear off, and it is like, my ears are bleeding until finally we get back, and I said, "Okay, I've seen enough." And it's about then Helen comes and she meets with us, and she's like, I couldn't believe it. She was like quiet, she listened to what we were saying, or mostly what Kathy and I were debating back and forth about the car. And she really only just, at certain points in time, just nudged us forward, asked some questions, nudged us forward. And ended up buying, well, to tell you the truth, the car that Kathy was most in love with, I drive anything, but it was a little sports car, one of those high-performance sports cars. The car, and she loved it because it had brown and black tan interior colors in the car. That's what she loved about this car. So I don't know what it was, $60,000, $70,000 car, and she liked the interior. Well, that's good enough for me. I just want the painting to be over. And so I said, "But I'm sorry, Helen, it's in the back." So, it's now like 8:30 at night, There's no one else at the dealership, barely. And she goes, that's no problem, I'll pull it out. I go, you what? She goes, no, I'll pull it out. She like 3 cars. She had to open up these glass doors. She'd get keys. She had to pull all these cars out in the parking lot. She maneuvers this car around desks and chairs and stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. She gets it out there and she goes, okay, no reason not to take it for a ride now. So, you know, it's only the 2 of us, so Kathy and I. So Ellen goes, well, here's the keys. Good luck. Have fun. Well, you know, so we came back, and needless to say, you know, Kathy loved the interior. We're buying the car. So we bought the car, and I mean, I said, you know, can we work on the price at all? Anything? She goes, no. I said, no, I'm buying a car. No. I said, well, how about floor mats? That, she said, I can do. I'll get you floor mats. I said, a done deal? Yeah, it's a done deal. I feel like I got something out of you. So we were driving back from the dealership, and Kathy said, you have to hire that girl. She's amazing. And I looked at her and I said, you know, I think you're right. I think you're right. So, so I came back. Stephen Tindo was one of the early general managers for this community. And so I said to Stephen, I said, Stephen, you've got to talk to Helen. She's amazing. And so back and forth, the 2 of them talked. And I'm going to let Helen tell you how she ultimately made the decision, you know, to come into Trilogy. But I do want to tell you this, is that in all my 40 years of being in business, I've never worked with someone who was so passionate and cared so much about the people that she served. I mean, this room is a testament to it. I've never seen anything like this. And this is about half of her friends. And she truly, she'd come back in, she'd say, oh, you would not believe I had the most wonderful time with so-and-so, and I'm going to go over to their house for dinner. And I go, holy cow, I can't believe it. You're kind of taking the sales thing way overboard. The sales stuff, if you bought or didn't buy, and I'll tell you, she's got a lot of friends that didn't buy. She's just out here making friends. So, you know, that person opened my eyes so much to what the possibilities of what you can do when you truly love the people that you serve. And that's Helen. She truly loves all of you that are in this room. She's a girl of many talents, I want you to know. As we were doing this grand opening of all the new product, this was 100% her baby. I was involved in a lot of other stuff, and I said, you got this, you run with it. It began with really designing the product. She designed all this product. If you don't like it, talk to her. But she designed the product that we have here. She had become what I believe to be the best designer of architecture in the Trilogy portfolio, and it was really this community. She not only did that, but she worked with the team to come to bring forward this incredible grand opening. It's really hard to do when you've already got a club open. It's hard to call something a grand opening. She did the impossible. I don't know if you know this, but in one day, it was a Saturday, there were over 4,000 visitors here in the single day. That's never been done in a Trilogy, and Helen pulled that off. But there's a story that goes even deeper than this, and the people that care for her are throughout all of Trilogy. And she had people that came in from all the different communities, and many of them were what we call, they were in the leadership development group. And they came down here, or came here from all the other communities to learn about what it is to do a grand opening on a community, and to learn at her feet. And one gentleman, the greatest story that I can think of, and he came down, and he was a big guy. Not a little guy, he was a big guy. And he fit rather tightly into his pants. And the curtain is going up. We're getting ready to start the grand opening and start all the people coming in. And he comes up to Helen. He goes, I can't believe this just happened to me. He's got a pretty crucial role, but he's got a split from the crotch right up to the waistband in his pants, wide open. She grabs him by the arm, takes him into one of the offices, says, "Take your pants off." He goes, "What?" She goes, "Take your pants off and give it to me." She grabs her purse, she grabs the pants, she heads into another office, and she sews his pants while people are lining up, buses are rolling in, and she is sewing his pants. That it represents all the talents that Helen, she can bring to the table. She can sew your pants, and she can sell your pants off. So Helen, thank you. Thank you for giving me the gift of one of the best experiences of my lifetime to know you and to work by your side all these years here at Trilogy. I will never, ever forget them. Thank you.
Just passing it along. Not everybody, as long as Dan, because some of you have a tea time tomorrow, but.
Well, she may have done a lot of nice jobs, but there's one point y'all should know. And I don't know if she remembers it or not, but we were up at the event center, and if you remember, they had that little room with the TV and these real nice laid-back chairs. And some lady came in with two other young ladies, and she said, "I'm very interested in looking at buying a house." Helen told Maureen, "I think she's a shopper." That woman got every royalty she could ever get. She got popcorn, she got Coke, she may even got the other Coke, I don't even know. But I know she came back the next day to bring her family. And Helen, can you elaborate on that?
So she was a homeless lady from Oakland. She took half the buffet home in her pockets. And it was a wig, and she had her keys in her bra. And her real name was Mayor. So everyone thought she was the mayor of Brentwood. And they put her in the theater, and they let her eat, and they let her hang out, and everyone was whispering, because there's only like 100 members at this time, and I don't think anyone knew Bob Taylor. So everyone thinks that this lady is the mayor, not Mayor, the homeless lady from Oakland. And I want you to know that I forgot one file in my desk when I cleaned it out. And I called today because I said I need that file. And it was a file of pictures of just random funny things that had happened over the years. And I also like to write poems and make fun of people in my poems. And so I have some about Sal. Sal, are you here? I got a good one for you, buddy. And so I needed that folder, and sure enough, as I opened the folder in Joel's office, there's a picture of Mayor on the very top. And I'm giving it to you tonight. Did you get it? Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you.
All right. Anyone else like Roy?
Hi. Well, it was December of 2013. My wife and I were sitting in the sales office over there in a little parlor with Helen Marshall. Is Helen here? And Helen was having an awful time doing the deal with us. She said, "Look, Roy, it's December 30th. This deal is only good till 5 o'clock tonight. We're going to give you a $10,000 discount if you sign right now." She had all the paperwork ready and everything was ready to go, and I'm going, I thought of more reasons to say no than I could think of saying yes. And Helen must have had a remote control device with a signal on it, because the door breaks open and Helen wanders in the room. "What the heck's going on in here?" she said. And Helen said, "Oh, well, I got the shorts here, and we're all ready to do a deal, but they don't seem ready to sign the papers." She says, "What?" And Helen says, "Yeah, and I offered them a $10,000 discount at the end of the year. They still won't start." She says, "The hell you won't." She closed the door. She said, "Nobody's leaving here until we get this deal done." I tell you, it only took 10 minutes. And we love love you, Helen. We wouldn't have been here without you. We're going to miss you.
I know it's only been about a week, but even yesterday or 2 days ago, someone came up and they were looking to book the event center. We're busy, we had everything fully committed. Yeah, well, Helen would have got it for me. I'm like, all right, I know how this is going to go. Anyone else like the mic? Special guest.
Well, I very rarely get the privilege of coming up here and seeing all the glory my sister has been a part of for the past 11 years.
That's her sister, you already know.
I am her little sister, and I've seen the stories, the talents my sister has, and when she came 11 years ago and said, well, I'm going to start doing real estate. I'm quitting my job as a car salesperson, and I'm going to do some real estate. I was like, okay, so this is going to go along the lines of you spent X amount of time doing car sales, X amount of time in design school, and this, okay, this is the next fad, this is the next thing my sister's going to do. I know how my sister is. This is the longest and most passionate she has ever been about anything, and she proves me wrong, and I don't like to be wrong. It's a family trait. We don't like to be wrong. So 11 years ago when she tells me, yeah, I'm going to be doing real estate, I'm like, okay. And she's like, at an active retirement community in Brentwood. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to live close to me, and you're going to be nowhere that I can hang out with you. This is going to be awesome. So I got to spend a lot more time with her after that, and she considers each and every single one of the people here family, and that is proven tonight. It has been proven the last 11 years, and watching my sister the past week has been enormous. She has never made such a tough decision in her life, and I'm very proud of her, and I'm very happy for her at the same time. And I'm going to miss her extended family, because you guys have all became family to us, because we hear the great stories, we hear the fun that she has here, we hear the people that she gets to meet, and the stories of you guys, your families, and everybody, and that's how much she means to you guys, or you guys mean to her, because we know you guys just as if she does, and you guys have all been part of our family for the past 11 years, just as she's been part of your guys'.
Anyone else like the mic? You don't all really have tea times, I know that.
Well, Helen, I know everybody in here has a history with you, and we do too, as you know. And I won't go any further. But I think what everybody in here wants to know is now, who the hell do we call to get something done?
No more questions? Send them to me. I break out the hook.
Well, Helen doesn't know me very well, because she wasn't involved in my purchase. It was handled quite nicely. But at the last developers meeting, and fall in on Ms. Jones' last statement, the last developers meeting, she said you could ask her one question because there's so many people here. So I raised my hand and I said, I've got a question and a declaration. The declaration was there's no 25-mile-an-hour speed limit sign at the Miwok Gate. So 2 days after the developers meeting, there's a sign there that says 25 miles an hour. Good job, Helen.
I'm navigating Randy Hagel.
We used Helen as our salesperson, and she made our sales transaction really wonderful. But the thing that I think Helen will remember most about us is that we helped her find her favorite dog park. And, she moved to Livermore, and she asked, we just moved from Livermore, and she said she was moving to Livermore. She said, do you know any dog parks there? And we said, yeah, there's one right over here. And she couldn't find it. And she looked and looked and looked, and finally she came back all excited. I found it, I found it. And then coincidentally, she also found the house that she bought. So we feel like we have a very special place, but we are going to miss you. You really made a difference. You've impacted people's lives, and you should leave here with your head held high. And it's whoever you're going to, it's their gain and our loss. So thanks a lot.
Helen, you are the love of our life. Okay, Sandy and I. Now, don't start crying, okay? Get the Kleenex out and everything. So this goes back to probably 2006, and this is pre-Dan, I think. We attended the very, very first presentation that Shay ever made, and this was in Walnut Creek. I think it was in the Hyatt, if I remember right. And everything was exciting. You know, you had to sign up right there in the middle of the conference, okay, in the middle of the presentation, and we will give you $10,000 off on your house. All right, right now. But you got to do it. We're not letting you leave the room or anything. So Sandy and I said, well, you know, we kind of don't like the high pressure stuff. Let's just kind of mosey on out. That was 2006, I think it was. And so after us coming out to Trinity, this is before you guys even had graded the roads or anything. And we kept coming out and saying, yeah, it looks like they're making progress, you know, but I don't know, these guys could go belly up. I mean, you know, so do we really want to put money into this kind of place, you know? So after the disaster of 2008, which I think one house got built in 2008, if I remember right. So we said, okay, maybe they're for real. So probably it was about 2010 we came out. By the way, during that whole time, we had gone through like, Dan, you probably remember, there's like 4 general managers, and there probably was at least a half a dozen different sales ladies. This is pre-Helen, okay? And so we said, man, I don't know, this doesn't feel right or anything. And so about 2010, we come out, and it was about January of 2010, and this is after everyone was laid off and so forth, and not being melodramatic here. But all of a sudden, Helen was there, and Helen was the only, I think we reduced the staff down to 1 salesperson, and it was Helen. And Dan, I don't think maybe you had come on board by that time, I can't remember. But all of a sudden, we said, okay, we're interested in this kind of a house, and Helen says, have I got a deal for you? All right. And so we start walking through the houses, and Helen is just absolutely fantastic. She's one of I've run lots of sales divisions and lots of companies and so forth. And Helen is the consummate. In fact, this is what I wrote to John Shea, I think. Helen is the consummate sales individual. She is absolutely, she really gets into the consumer's head, and she knows what they want, and she tailors that offering just for that customer. She's an amazing individual. So anyway, after about 6 months of us walking through various houses and so forth, we're getting pretty close, and I'm saying, I don't know, I'm pretty close, but I don't know. And she says, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll throw this in, I'll throw the fireplace in, I'll throw this in over here, I'll do this kind of deal over here, I'll do this over here, and we'll do this thing over here. And I shouldn't be telling all this, right? This is getting a little embarrassing. Well, everyone got the same deal, right? So, make a long story short, we bought our house through Helen, and it only took a year. I think it was maybe 13 months or something like that to build the house, and that was because of us. Because back in those days, Shay was, I think, willing to do a lot of changes. So we said, well, we got to move this wall over here. We've got to do this thing over here. Well, we need this thing brown instead of black. And Helen says, no problem, no problem, no problem. And it was an amazing experience for Sandy and I. And Helen, I'll tell you, we love our house. We absolutely love our house. We just sold our house overseas. We wanted you and Paul to come over and see us, but you got to do it in the next like 6 weeks, okay? But we absolutely love you, and we hope that we don't lose contact with you. You're still going to be in Brentwood, aren't you? Shake your head, yes.
Yeah, my nails and my hair.
I'm talking about a work environment, lunch, and that kind of stuff. You're not going to go very far, are you? Okay, all right. We love you. Thank you very much for your dedication.
People start to scare me when they go back to the dark ages.
Our adventure started when Bud decided that we should move from Discovery Bay. We were the one house that Vaughn was talking about, and he's directly across the street. But he saw the sales offices down at the Raleigh Shopping Center. And he would go in there and say, you know, you wanted more information. Oh, great, we'll take your name and we'll have somebody contact you. And 2 weeks would go by and nothing would happen. And he'd go back and again, oh good, I'll take your name. 2 weeks later, and nothing happened. So they had the tent show and it was 4,000 degrees. And so he kept saying, come on, let's go take a look at this area. I said, no, I'm not going. For 2 years, I said, I'm not going to go live with all those old people. And I meant it. I really, really meant it. And for some reason, we came up that one more time. He said, Helen called. She just wants us to come up and just take a look. So we came up and signed. And like I said, we were the house that they built, and we've been here and happily ever after. So thank you, Helen.
Okay,